Hey everyone, thank you again for your time. Hmm. I have something for you today that I hope you'll enjoy. Well, the first part. I don't really want you to enjoy um, the information, but at least hope that I'm not wasting your time. So, thank you. I really do appreciate it. So, if everyone is ready, if you have your blankets and you're all cozy, have your drinks and your snacks, I'd like for you to come in close. Everyone, let's take a seat. There are peaches and carrots ready to eat. So fluff up your fur and perk up your ears. I have a story to tell that you will want to hear. At least I think you will. Humor me for a second. Please.
A Predator's Tale, A Day to Serve. September 29th, 2004, Fairfax, Virginia. It was a day like any other at Henry's Wrecker Service, which meant chaos, grease, and at least one tow truck stuck in reverse. Mr. Arterbury, a 22-year-old tow truck driver with the swagger of a man who once tried to tow a police car, just to see if he could, was in his usual uniform. Camo cargo pants, a sleeveless shirt that read "Tow Lives Matter," and a mullet that defied gravity and common sense. He was known around the yard as the Predator, not because he was dangerous, but because he had a habit of crouching behind dumpsters and whispering, "I see the prey," every time a car double parked. At approximately 4:17 p.m., Mr. Arterbury was mid-monologue about the spiritual connection between man and tow truck when a sleek black and white cruiser rolled into the lot. The birds stopped chirping. The oil stopped dripping. Even Bertha, his beloved tow truck, let out a soft hydraulic sigh. Out stepped Fairfax County Police Officer R.B. Call, a man whose badge gleamed like it had its own ego. He walked with the confidence of someone who had memorized every episode of Cops and had a laminated copy of the Miranda rights in his wallet. "Mr. Arterbury?" Officer Call asked, clipboard in hand. Arterbury squinted. "Depends. Are you here about the squirrel I accidentally towed last week?" "No," said Officer Call, adjusting his sunglasses. "You're under arrest." Arterbury blinked. "For being too efficient?" "No," Officer Call replied. "For outstanding warrants, unpaid parking tickets, and impersonating a traffic cone outside a Dunkin' Donuts." Arterbury gasped. That cone was a statement piece. I was blending in with the infrastructure. As Officer Call began reading him his rights, Arterbury tried to make a run for it, but tripped over a transmission and landed face first in a pile of expired inspection stickers. The other tow truck drivers gathered around solemnly. One played taps on a harmonica. Another tried to live stream the arrest on a flip phone. Bertha honked twice, once for sorrow, once for solidarity. As he was escorted to the cruiser, Arterbury turned to his co-workers and shouted, "Tell Bertha I'll be back, and tell the squirrel, I forgive him." And thus ended the legendary day of Mr. Arterbury, the camo-clad tow truck philosopher, who served not just the stranded vehicles of Fairfax, but also, briefly, the Fairfax County Jail.
Did you enjoy my story? Did you like it? Did you feel like it was maybe as ridiculous, maybe even more so, than the one you heard Biz do? I mean, I'm pretty sure there were some things in this story that you heard that reminded you of Biz's story, right? I mean, he said he was telling the truth. I think most people who have lied or know someone who has lied um, knows that sometimes the truth is sprinkled in with that lie. It makes it more believable, maybe even memorable. There were some things that stood out to me in Biz's story that I thought stood out. Because if I am looking for the truth in what he's saying, in the process of poking holes, I have to kind of validate some things. And some things that he said was easily validated, while other things were they're kind of like a hit or miss. Like they could be true, they may not be true. Some things are just simply unbelievable because you just can't fathom it being true. But no less, I really just want to focus on Biz's tall tales, or the facts within them. In Biz's story, he mentioned that he worked for a tow company. He mentioned that there were girls. He mentioned that he was approached by officers at his place of work. He mentioned that the incident occurred while at work, which means that it had to be within a route or distance or path that was appropriate for work. So with all of those little nuggets, me and my nuggets, I think that the way I view the paperwork is just differently than maybe what someone else would be if they got the paperwork. Um, let's just take a second and make sure we're on the same page with the type of documents that you receive. When you request the documents from the courthouse, police department, wherever, let's just focus on the courthouse. When you request documents from a courthouse, there's a number of different documents that you could possibly receive. I'm saying it like that because you're not guaranteed to receive anything, let alone a specific document, if it is not available to you because it has been destroyed, because they are not making that particular document available to you. They may make a summary available to you instead of a complete transcript. It could be a docket sheet, which is a ledger of every action, filing, hearing in a court case. It could be a complaint, a petition, a document that's filled by the plaintiff that begins a civil lawsuit. It could be a motion, which is like a request for a process to move forward, for an action to be taken, a response to a complaint. It could be court orders. It could be a jury verdict, summary briefings, oral arguments and transcripts, actual recordings. It could be body cam footage, evidence, different types of images of evidence that may be available to you. You're not guaranteed, however, to get every piece that you think you should get, nor are you guaranteed to get every document that you would get in one state in another. So the documents available in Virginia may not be available in Georgia. The documents available in Texas may not be available in Idaho. So what you should be able to do with the documents that you receive is paint a picture of what happened to get you to the point that you're at. One of the things that you won't get, well, I'm not going to say one of the things that you won't get. It's possible that you're going to run into restrictions or hard stops when it comes to some documents, because there are certain classes, as with any other facet of the world, that are protected, as they should be. In these circumstances, you'll have juvenile records, adoption records, medical records. There's just some documents that just won't be released to the public, and again, rightfully so. So, whereas the case may be in judgment of an adult, because there are children involved in the record, some of the documents related to the case may not be available. So you'll be left with things like summaries or summarized judgments, instead of full-on transcripts or full charging documents that express details that would be harmful to the victim. And of course, in most of these circumstances, even if it's an adult, it doesn't feel good to have your personal business plastered all over anywhere, any space. These are private moments, especially when they are crimes similar to the ones that we're addressing today. Adult or child, I think that it would be ideal to have some level of sensitivity here. So even in showing any of the documents that I choose to show, my goal is not to exploit these victims. Biz asked that I poke holes, and that's what I'm doing. But I'm going to try to do this as delicately as possible, because I really want you guys to see exactly what I saw when I saw what I saw. And because I have a bit of a curious mind, I want to show you more than tell you what I saw. So again, this is going to be kind of short tonight. Let me close up some of these things because I just don't need them anymore. But I really want you guys to keep in mind Biz's story, because we're going to pull from Biz's story to paint this picture. But before I paint this picture, I want to show you this document that I got from the court. So I'm going to make this a solo screen, and as big as I could possibly make it. I'm just going to focus on that. Maybe if I bring this in, no, I don't like you. Let me see. One second, bring this down for 1 second, because I want to do something else. Oh, you're just beautiful. Okay, so let me just put you back now. Okay, so can you guys see? You guys can see this. Why do I keep asking that question like someone's going to actually respond? It's weird. Simply weird. Okay, so you guys can see this document here. We're looking at a subpoena for witnesses. Has Fairfax County JNDR adult, Juvenile and Domestic Relations, the District Court is checked off. That's what the JNDR means. Commonwealth of Virginia. And this little date right here is very significant too. It's significant for a reason outside of the story that was played in the last audio. If you will remember, we just move this up to the first one. If you will remember, in that audio, there were a lot of little nuggets, right? Okay, so we had Biz stated that he worked for a tow truck company at the time, right? Yes, this is Courtney Peach / Adobe style redaction. It isn't going anywhere. Everything you see is just enough embrace it while it's up here on the screen. So he said that he worked for Henry's Wrecker, something like that, towing company. There were a girl accusing him of asking him to SMD for $240. Did I say that backwards? Accused him of asking her to SMD for $240. There was a reference to his age, which was slightly off for some reason. There was also a reference to being arrested at his place of work, which I kind of thought was significant for a reason you'll soon understand. In another story, because I didn't hear it on this audio, it may be on this audio, but if I need to, I'll find it and reference it. Biz made mention of, Biz 101 is what I'm talking about. Biz made mention of there being a moment where they were in a courtroom and the girls were laughing and got kicked out of the courtroom. If I recall that story correctly. Could be a little fuzzy. It's been a couple of years. I've been waiting. Well, the reason why that's significant is because when I get into this paperwork, 61 pages, 5 of those documents are subpoenas. And you're looking at the first one. I do want you to, let me just make sure I can help you out with this because I don't want you to do things that you can't do. Do you see the initials right here? You guys know her, right? I'm not going to say her name, but you know her. She would allegedly be the woman that Biz showed the text messages for, stating that she had an apology for him. Can you imagine a little girl apologizing to an adult for what he was accused of doing to her? Oof, I tell you. But you see that, right? So this is a subpoena for her. Okay? The reason why I wanted you guys to see that is because I want to point out truths when we find them. Because it's important to highlight people's positives, especially when you can point out their flaws, right? You don't want somebody to feel like you're just shitting on them, do you? Okay. So, why are you here? Like, what are you doing? Why are you up here? Move. I'd say shout out to Adobe, but you're being really difficult right now. Move. Anyhow, so this I don't really move. Okay. So this document right here, the date, the return date, if you'll notice, is the same date as here, which is the court date. What court date, you ask? Well, the court date in which these little girls were in the room for once and one time. This was the court date where Biz claims that they showed up to court and laughed and got kicked out, and he doesn't know what happened with this court date. Well, I know what happened with this court date. I have the actual document, but he knows why, and I know why, that date is insignificant. So bringing up the girls' presence and laughing and stuff, I'm not exactly sure what that did for his story, but it was the truth. So let's just go through this really quickly. We have these initials that you're very much aware of, and this is it just okay, guys, I get a little bit excited. Let me just calm down for a bit. In the video recording, in the audio recording, the part of Biz's video that I did not play. But the audio recording, I did link to the video. So hopefully you clicked it and you listened to it. Because if you listen to it, you'll remember there's a part in there where Biz asks two of the girls their names. One of the girls says, Toria. Y'all heard that, right? I did too, right? Subpoena number 1. And just so anyone who likes to point out weird stuff, just for the sake of pointing out weird stuff, still with the hopes of expecting things from people, it says right here, the dude's name. I am not going to create no document giving you the actual form number for you to search up and put false documentation on it and just say it's this man's information when it's not. Right? Biz asked me to do this. All right? So, I'm doing it. The next witness, there was another little girl standing at the car, and she said her name. Well, you haven't seen her full name on a document, so I'm not going to say it out loud. But she said her name. So that's 2 appearing for court on December 3rd, right? This name you didn't hear. This name you didn't hear. But she's there. She's there. Let me move past her because this name you definitely heard. You know, it began with a D. In case you can't see that, I'm gonna try to zoom in just a little bit. You can't see the last name or anything, but you do see that D, right? Right? So we got. Why am I clicking on the wrong screen? We got a VI, right? We have an S. We have an SH. And we have a D. Now, when you listen to that audio of Biz, there is another name that gets yelled out in there. Maybe something regarding her mom not even wanting to hear what was being said. But I just want to make sure that there's some validation in anything presented by Biz. Okay? So that's an L. This right here, that's an L. The audio tape had Toria, someone's name beginning with an S, Danielle. Y'all remember that name, right? Yeah. Y'all remember that name? Larice? Y'all remember that name? Larice? Yeah. I wonder why Biz hasn't contacted the other girls. Is it really too late to overturn this if you have 5 witnesses saying they lied? I don't know. I don't have the answers for that. know that in order to get that tape, you committed a crime. And we'll talk about Toria another time. So I saw these documents, right? And I got a little curious after staring at them for a few days. You know, you look at something one time, one thing pops out, and then you look at something, enough, and so many things pop out that you don't realize are as significant as they are, right? So So let me just take a little step away from this little document for a second because I want to show you where my head went. I just really want to show you where my head went when I saw these documents. So let's just take a look at something. So Biz said he was working for Henry's Wrecker when he was working in 2004. So in September 2004, Biz was working for Henry's Wrecker. That's my understanding. So the interesting thing about this is that, it's not quite interesting yet. Let me just show you. I wanted to kind of understand, I guess, what was possible. I mean, this man is saying that he was at work. The cops showed up, accused him of some things that he states that he did not do. Then he's stating that while working, he encounters these young ladies again, and then runs back to his boss and gets assistance with getting an audio tape. Now, the thing that is curious for me, or feels curious for me, is the fact that he was accused of something and then encounters the victim thereafter. So, where is this place? Is that the only question? Am I the only person to ask these? I'm curious. Look, I'm curious. So just come with me, if you will. I went on to Henry's Wrecker website, and I located their offices. In Virginia, there are three Henry Wreckers services. Is that what they call Henry Wrecker services? Something close, whatever. So there are three of them. All right. So let me show you what they look like. You guys see that? Okay. Why are you here? Oh my gosh, it's just like really stressing me out. There's always something. Add many by there we go. All right. Is this good enough? Can we see? You guys see that? I took all of the other little icons and stuff off of here so that way you can actually see what I see. But I went to Google Earth and I plugged in the addresses of all three locations here. So you'll see Henry's Wrecker in Reston, Vienna, Henry's Wrecker in Fairfax, Virginia, and Henry's Wrecker in Alexandria, Virginia, right? So that's not really, anything to write home to mom about. The significance of it, though, is just trying to figure out which particular one he was at. But the little nugget in his story says that he was arrested at his job, right? The nuggets on his paperwork tells me it would be Fairfax that arrested him. Still doesn't necessarily mean that he was in Fairfax working, because the location of the crime would most likely have the jurisdiction. So I'm going to assume that both the crime and his work location are in Fairfax, Virginia. Just going to take a stab in the dark and just make claims because it sounds good. Y'all like it? I like it too. So, yeah. So I'm going to pretend that I know for certain that Henry's Wrecker in Reston, Vienna, Virginia, and Henry's Wrecker in Alexandria, Virginia are not significant. Where are you going with this? Why do we care that he worked at Henry? Like, we heard him say that he worked at a tow trucking company. I mean, what's the... Why? Okay. All right, fine. It's just me. I'm just curious. But if you have a little bit more time, I'll show you what else I was curious about. So in the paperwork, right? In the paperwork, let me just disclose this really clearly, because I'm just trying to more or less figure out how, whatever. I have some personal information of business that I don't want to have. Asking for the court records was one thing. Getting this man's personal information that only he should be able to get with documentation is something totally different. And I want to assure him that I will do everything within my power to make sure that nothing is disclosed that is not either A, already known, or B, that is far removed from the actual person, where it does not place them in any harm's way. So with that said, my curiosity, people. Okay. So this right here, I had business address from September 29th, 2004. And really quickly, if I don't think I titled the name of my last live incorrectly. I titled it September 24th. It should have been September 29th. But I don't think I said the incorrect date. So as long as I didn't say the incorrect date, he's still bound to dig deep. The image on the screen is the bottom of that document that he received that night. He received 2 documents, maybe even 3. So he still should be able to find it if he wants it. But I can still answer the question for you. Just give me a signal. Look, we can push this faster, Biz, if you just drop a little note in the comment section telling me what's good. What's that? But what's goody? What you want me to do? Who cares? So his address, 2004. I said I had it. It's right there. So, of course, I wanted to know how far he was away from his job. Like, did he live near here? Was that something that, a place where he frequented or could frequent, or all in all, he doesn't live here. So let me just tell you where here is. Here is Manassas, Virginia. I want to state for the record that Manassas, Virginia is not, I repeat, not a county in Fairfax, Virginia. Why is this interesting? I don't know if it's interesting to you, but it's interesting to me because it means that he didn't do his dirt by his home, at least not this close to his home in this same county. So the crime wasn't committed here. Like, not here. Which still may not be significant to anybody else. But I think that there is a little piece though that is significant to, or will be significant to others, because in those documents, I don't know if anybody noticed that when I shared it. Let me just show it to you one more time. In the documents that I showed, do you guys see something very common or very what's the word I'm looking for? Very repetitive. Why am I clicking on the wrong screen? At the very least, if you're going to share, why can't you just work from whatever? Does anyone else notice something quite repetitive about these documents? No, I'm not talking about the fact that they all say subpoena for witness. No, I'm not talking about the fact that they all have to appear in the same courtroom on the same date and time at the same location. I'm talking about the fact that under the name of every witness, you'll see Centerville, Virginia. Do you see that? What I'll also tell you is that none of the addresses are the same. Meaning, these aren't siblings. This isn't a family of people all being subpoenaed from the same house. These are 5 individual people in the same town. Right? Centerville is, however, a county of Fairfax, Virginia. I'm going to let that sit with you for a second. I was about to just actually remove this document, but before I remove this document, I kind of want to point out something else that is of a wild significance that kind of put me on this path to take a look as closely as I did to these witnesses. Business story, and what that day could possibly look like from above. This right here is what captured my eye. You guys see that? You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? This right here. What's that? Yeah, I'm gonna leave all that. That's fine. I'm pretty sure serving officers and sheriffs from 2004 that may or may not be here that won't have a problem being made aware of. This is something that I wanted to point out. Someone was served. And this wonderful serving processor, Mr. Doyle, you know, the guy that has no problem getting up bright and early in the morning and letting the fuck it, letting the nigga know that they got some place to be that they don't want to be. This wonderful man at 9:44 a.m. posted on the front door this summons for Toria, and then I found it quite interesting that merely 4 minutes later, he posted another subpoena on another young lady's door. Is that fast? I don't know. But then, yeah. 5 minutes later, he posted another one. I mean, this man is moving. Man, woman, I'm not sure. But let me let you know, at 9 anything, I am slowly doing 5 minutes, guys. 9:44, 9:48, 9:53, 9:55. Are they living on top of each other? Two minutes. 2 minutes, guys. It took 2 minutes. All you people laughing at my Baltimore right now. Ooh, kiss my foot. 2 minutes, guys. 2. So, I mean, at this point, I'm like, they gotta be like top floor, middle floor, basement, 9:57. From 9:44 to 9:57, this man issued 5 summons. 5. So the curious mind that I have, thinking that, I mean, heck, somebody has to be, this has to be like this wild apartment complex with these crazy names in which people are like layered over top of each other in weird sections where someone's street name is this. And listen, I'm here for the challenge. I was trying to come up with anything rational. And just understand this. What I came up with, fortunately, is not it. It's not it. It's not it at all. So, these young ladies were all summoned to appear in court December 3rd. And I just want to know, why in the world did it only take that man 13 minutes to pass out 5 summons? I'm sorry, is that a strange question? Okay, well, my nosy self thought it was so strange that I decided to get some answers. And if you don't mind, I mean, I'd like to just give you a little tidbit of what I saw. You know? So, I did say 5, right? All located in Centerville, Virginia. All located in Centerville, Virginia. Wonder why it only took 2 hot seconds to deliver. Some of these subpoenas. Y'all see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this map may very well make this seem more than what it actually is. But clearly we have 3 young ladies right here together, which explains some of this. Let's see. Victoria is over here. That's at 9:44. See if he went in that order. SG right here. 9:48. Then we have this will be the third one. DG at 9:55. We have 9:57. Oh, nope, I skipped one. 9:53 was here, number 2. And 9:57, Larice, Toria. Don't worry, she doesn't live here anymore. How do I know that? Because business documents tell me so. But, yeah. 5 witnesses. Right. But this is the thing. That's not even the top of it, right? Okay, so we have 5 witnesses all in this little hub. We have one that we know for certain because, well, Armando told us. That witness number 5. Well, actually, number 1, according to the timestamp of when she was served, is actually the victim from the 20th day of September. Your question is, which one is the victim from August 27th? Or is it the same victim, right? Sure, you have questions. But right now, I think what I want to show you is this. Because again, the big thing that's important to me is that I paint the picture of what that day kind of looked like. And why I think that it's important to for Biz to understand that he's in a position to make smart decisions where this information is concerned. Because what I've just done is open the door for any possible story to be created based off what I'm about to show. And I don't think anybody wants the possible story. I think everyone wants the exact story. And I don't want to be the one adding to the lie, but I'm damn sure going to put out whatever information I have as I see it. And sadly, with me having these blind spots, because there are things I simply just don't know, I'm going to give myself some grace and be fine with whatever the outcome is, because you had the opportunity to help me know. So let's see. Let me make sure that this is... Why is this here? See, I'm going to gift you guys a little glimpse into... See, I don't want all of this on here because that's going to make it... Where they at? Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. No buildings. Eek! Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Well, you guys are just going to see it. Hopefully it's not too confusing, because I don't feel like fighting with this app anymore. So Let's go. And no, I'm not going to edit this out because why? I'm tired. She's tired. Let me see. Let me make this a solo screen. I think. Yeah. Okay. So again, the victims are not here. This is more or less to give a visual of what that day would have looked like for not only Biz, the girls, Henry Zurecker. I promise you, it's going to seem very important when you look at it the way I do. Do you guys see this? This is Biz. Right here. These are the 5 witnesses. Right? And this is Henry Zurecker in Fairfax, Virginia. Okay? Y'all see this? And this. Right here. I kind of want you to just look at the image for a second because we're talking about someone who's accused of indecent acts, inappropriate behavior with the victims. And I'm hoping that you see things the way I see things because Biz is right here, guys. And his witnesses are right here. His victim. His known victim. That's her. Right here. Victoria. She's popping up now. And this is his job. I'm going to tell you that I calculated the distance, the driving distance from Biz's location to Toria's location. Which, if you remember from the diagram, let me just zoom in here because if you remember from the image before, she's one. She's closest in proximity. Can you tell? "25 minutes. That is the distance from Biz's home in 2004 to the stated victim's home in 2004. Which, in his story, he stated that he drove from his work and saw the girls Let me see if I can get back to the other one. He saw the girls. He drove to Henry's Wrecker in Fairfax, Virginia. Because Reston is so much further away. In Alexandria. Do you see that? You guys see that? But here. Five girls are all nestled together. Right? They're all nestled together. They're all nestled together. But here, you can see that Biz's location isn't far from the girls nor his job. Which is what makes some of these little nuggets in business stories so believable. Imagine how many opportunities Biz has had to see the victims. Imagine how many times undocumented that Biz has seen the victims. I mean, I know of a few times that I haven't even shown. And it's very hard to believe that this is very coincidental. That there are 5 people that can attest to you doing something on multiple dates in this county with multiple people. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But that looked damn creepy. I mean, this happened on his day at work, that he got picked up from. He got picked up for. Biz, why didn't you answer my question yet? Was at your work in Fairfax, Virginia. The girls live in Fairfax, Virginia, not in Manassas, which is outside of Fairfax. It's very believable that you were picked up at your job. It's very believable that you drove over to the girls and you drove back to your job and drove back with your boss down Route 66 to the girls to get that audio tape. What's unbelievable is just that you handed that over to anybody other than yourself, your friends, maybe someone in your family that didn't believe you. But that tape ain't shit. And it definitely didn't mean anything to no prosecutor, a judge, or an attorney. Maybe your boss was bit. He may get the dumb award. But I'm not going to believe everyone else. One of these names, Biz, One of these names. August 27th. Biz, you were kind of close to them girls. For this to be random claim, you kind of close to them girls. Right down Route 66, huh? Yeah. That's just what I saw. I be curious, guys. I be seeing stuff. And I be asking questions. And I be wondering. Am I the only one with these questions? I mean, I could... From 9:44 to 9:57, subpoenas were issued in Centerville, Virginia, for 5 girls to appear in court December 3rd, 2004, where, according to Biz, these little girls were ousted from the courtroom because they were laughing. Biz, courtroom G. Do you remember what happened that day? Do you have that document? I'm shocked you didn't show that document. I mean, that one right there, that one may have meant something to the masses. The outcome of December 3rd, 2004 may have meant something to the masses. Yeah. I told you I wasn't going to keep you guys for too long, and here I go over an hour. So I'm going to actually just kind of leave you with that. Just that little nugget, the little visual. 25 minutes. Business 25 minutes from these babies. They were right in the crosshairs between his home and his job. How many months? How many interactions? How many undocumented interactions? All right, guys. I thank you for your time. Biz, the opportunity is the same. Lay it plain. We can move it along. Armando, you still ain't shit. But you can also lay it plain and we can move it along. I'll tag you both in the video. I really hope your teams are losing. I mean, I really hope they suck. I hope you're blowing all of your you too fucking cheap, Biz. I know your ass ain't betting shit, but a goddamn thought. All right, everyone have an amazing day. Talk to you soon. I promise.